It's Shay Abstract. So, today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one. It's something I've never really done before, but I've been very interested in videos with I guess reasons why you shouldn't do this, or yeah, investigative kind of journalism, basically. I'm very interested in that, and yeah, so I wanted to try and do that, and I wanted to hear about something I'm passionate about. So I was thinking about this last night, and I'm very passionate about it, so I wanted to talk about this, and this is gonna be a bit of a long video, so be prepared. I have a lot of notes. I'm going to be reading my notes, but not you know what I mean. Not reading off them, really, but improvising based off the notes. You get what I mean. So yeah. So let's get into the video. So, basically, this video is going to be about Shein. If you don't know what Shein is, it is a clothing brand based in China. It's a fast fashion brand, but and if you don't know what fast fashion is, we will be talking about that later. So, yeah. So this video is going to be about Shein, and this is going to be more of a professional, serious video. As serious as I can possibly get. So I put on my trusty blazer, so yeah. But basically this video is going to be why I will never shop at Shein again, and you shouldn't either. Yeah. It's basically a video essay, actually. Kind of. Could have done this for school. So, first, we will be talking about a person versus a company. What that is, what that means, and what the people behind the company are versus small businesses. We're going to talk about the definitions of all that. So the definition of a person of people is human beings in a general considered collectivity. Definition of a company, a commercial business. Definition of small business, fewer employees. A commercial business that has fewer employees, resources, and revenue. So, basically, I wanted to say, we should not have the separation between people and businesses. Almost okay, the separation of people and companies should not happen. People are behind the companies. So, yeah, people are behind the companies. And it's not the companies are controlled by robots or anything. It's people. It's people. We're all human, and we're controlling these companies. Well, not us, but, we are, you know what I mean. We act like these big companies or these big corporations are these big things that control a lot and stuff like that, but genuinely, it's just people controlling them. It's just a lot of people, and they should be responsible for their mistakes because there are people behind it, and even especially the bigger companies, because it goes through so many people. It goes through so many people, and if so many people signed off on that decision, then if that decision goes wrong or is a bad decision, then they need to pay for that. Either monetarily or whatever. They need to pay for that. So, my next point is I wanted to talk about the difference between dupes and copyright infringement and stuff like that. Dupe is a cheaper version of an item that captures the spirit of an item but does not outright copy it. It's basically inspired by the item or the product. Copyright infringement is the unlawful use of copyright protected works without permission where permission is required. Artwork is protected by copyright law once it is created. It is protected. So, keep that in mind. Artwork is always protected by copyright law. Whether you file it or not, it's always protected by copyright law. Once it's created, it's copyrighted and it's yours, and you can't, like, someone can't steal your work. Like, they can, but you have the right to, like, file in court and, like, get money from them, and they can't profit off of it. And, yeah. So, I have 5 pages of notes, by the way. I worked really hard on this. So suing for copyright infringement can also be very difficult to prove and expensive and time-consuming, so keep that in mind. Like, suing for anything, honestly, is hard to prove and time-consuming and expensive, obviously, so it can be hard for people. So keep that in mind during this video. So, the big thing I wanted to talk about, the big thing that got me wanting to make this video, I couldn't stop thinking about it last night, and, like, it hurts me. It hurts me that it even happened, and it's horrible. So, the Cameron Boyce situation. And I saw a lot of people weren't talking about this. Like, I've seen people make videos about Shein, but they don't make videos about what Shein did to the Cameron Boyce family and everyone. They didn't make videos about that. They don't talk about that. They talk about them stealing from other artists, which we will get into. But they don't really talk about what happened with Cameron Boyce, and it's very confusing to me because it should have been a big thing. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about it because I don't see many people talking about it, and it pisses me off. And I don't want Shein to get away with this. I still see people to this day buying from them, saying they're their favorite brand and stuff like that. And it's just like, no, sweetie, you don't know what they've done. So, basically, around sometime last year, I don't remember when, there's no lie about it online, so I couldn't find what time last year. Like, people weren't talking about it, which pisses me off. But sometime last year, Shein ripped off a design from the archives from, which was a clothing line created by Cameron Boyce's family in honor of him after his sudden passing in 2019. If you don't know who Cameron Boyce is, Cameron Boyce was a 20-year-old actor and activist. He was most famous for his roles in Jessie and Descendants. He unfortunately passed away due to sudden, unexpected death in epilepsy on July 6th, 2019. And, Cameron was a big part of my childhood. I'm sure he was a big part of all of yours. He was very beloved. He was very, like, he was an activist for human rights and a bunch of other things. Like, he was an amazing person. So, like, for them to steal from a company that's in honor of him, just, it doesn't sit with me well. It's not okay. It's not okay. For Shein to have stolen from an amazing company, which was made in honor of an amazing person, is just disgusting and heartbreaking. Like, I can't even imagine how his family felt for someone to just profit off of his death. And probably confuse the fans, because they're probably like, maybe they're collaborating with Shein, or whatever. Like, they're probably confused too. So it probably confused a bunch of fans, and they could have bought it, and it could have tricked them into buying it from Shein, And they profited off of Cameron's death. Like, how could you do that? And then they also, like, they confuse the fans. But also, they are everything that he was against. They're everything that Cameron was against, that he fought against. And that is just disgusting for them to have profited off of his death. Like that genuinely hurts me so much, and I can't even imagine how much it hurts his family. Because I loved Cameron. Cameron was amazing. He was a big part of my childhood. Like, one of my first childhood crushes and everything, and it's not okay. So, some other things Shein has done. Shein has straight up stolen designs from artists and other brands and small businesses, including ones that were owned by minorities, like black women, disabled women, and that's just the ones I've seen. That's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the ones that I've seen, and I know there's a lot more. Shein is kind of notorious for stealing designs in the anti-fast fashion community. They steal a lot of people's designs, and they rip off everyone. And, like, it's just, we understand if you rip off, like, a big brand like Gucci or, like, a luxury brand or something like that, because that's, like, trying to get it to the mainstream people. But when you rip off a smaller brand, like, okay, so when you rip off Gucci, you're not affecting their profit, really, because the rich people want the real Gucci, you know what I mean? The rich people are gonna buy Gucci no matter what. And Gucci is a multi-million-dollar company, so it doesn't really matter. But when you rip off a small business that could be making, like, a low amount of money a month and barely making, like, ends meet and stuff like that, and that could be the difference between putting food on the table or not for them, and you just take a sale away from them for cheaper and for lower quality, and people just don't understand that, like, small businesses, most of the things for small businesses I've seen are handmade. That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of effort. That's why things are more expensive. That's why they have to pay out of pocket for all the materials, everything like that. They're not like a multi-million-dollar company where they can just buy whatever they want. They're just people. They're just people like you and me. They're just trying to make ends meet. They're just trying to get money for their family and take care of their family, like, and make their dreams come true. So it's not like it's just messed up that Shein would take sales away from small businesses and original artists and, like, profit off of their art, which is literally illegal. But they can't take them to court because it's expensive, time-consuming, hard to prove. And also, Shein is based in China. A lot of the artists are based in other places. So if they took them to court, it would be very complicated, because which law system do you use or whatever. Like, it would be a mess. It would be a mess. So, yeah. Problematic behaviors. Shein, actually, last year, I believe, this is when they got in the controversy for it. They sold swastika necklaces. So that's great. Totally not offensive to Jewish people and Holocaust victims at all. Like, what? Like, how could you? Like, what? That's like selling a Confederate flag. Like, what? People will just, oh my gosh. People are crazy. People are insane. It just pisses me off how crazy this world can be and how insensitive people can be. Like, how can you, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how people who lost family members in the Holocaust felt, or who survived the Holocaust felt. Like, what? And then they also, last year, sold Muslim prayer mats as decorative rugs. Like, what? How can you not see that that's offensive? How can you not tell that that's going to be offensive to people and that's going to hurt people because it's their sacred rug and you're just like, here, it's a decorative rug. Like, don't. Like, it's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. It's insane. It's insane that they can just get away with doing stuff like this. Like, it's terrible. Anyway, now we are going to talk about fast fashion. Shein is fast fashion. If you don't know what fast fashion is made in sweatshops, and workers are in terrible conditions. They aren't paid a living wage. The company is making millions while they barely pay these people. They barely pay these people anything. And they're making millions off of very cheaply made clothes, too. So they're just profiting off of other people's suffering, basically. And it's in, like, poor countries where they have to do basically anything to get the money, and it's just, it's sad. It's so sad. And where it's legal to do this, because it wouldn't happen over here, wouldn't happen in America, but it's in other countries, and then they ship it out to America, and then that's how they get around it. That's loophole. But it's just, it's just messed up. Like, how could you do that to people? How could you not even pay them a living wage and, like, let them just suffer and not be able to bring home food to their family? They're just working for nothing because they're not able to bring home food to their family. They're not able to, like, get clothes for their kids or take care of their families. Like, it's sad. It's so sad. The products are also mass-produced and not good for the environment. So they're not good for the people, they're not good for the environment, they're not good for anything, really. They're cheaply made, so they're gonna fall apart eventually. Like, it's not good for anyone. It's not good for anyone. And it's killing our planet, so that's killing us in the process. So, like, you know, like, no. We need to avoid Shein and fast fashion as much as we possibly can to save our planet and to hopefully save lives in the process. Hopefully some policies will go through if we boycott fast fashion, and hopefully there will be some, like, human rights stuff in other countries where that's legal, and it will become illegal, and these people will be able to get normal jobs where they are not treated terribly, and where they are treated right, paid a living wage, and get the money to be able to take care of their families. So, if you have the resources, please, if you have the resources to avoid fast fashion as much as you can. Fast fashion is Shein, a lot of online stores. Basically anything that doesn't say they're ethical is fast fashion, and anything that's not small business can be fast fashion. Small businesses can be fast fashion too, don't get me wrong, but small businesses are a lot less likely to be fast fashion. They're more likely to be ethical, ethically made and sustainably made. So please don't support fast fashion. Try not to support fast fashion as much as you can. I know sometimes you need to, like, sometimes you're at the store and you need to you need to get an outfit for a specific event or whatever. You need to get fast, whatever, like, or sometimes you need to get, like, underwear, whatever. You need it brand new. You can't thrift for that. That's kind of gross. So I understand that. Or like socks or whatever. Like you can't really thrift for that. But I understand that. But try to thrift as much as possible when you want new clothes. Or try, if you have the money, get ethically made clothes or sustainably made clothes. That will help the environment a lot. And also try to buy clothes less, because even there's a lot of clothing waste when we throw out clothes and it's in landfills, and it hurts the environment. Like it's bad. One sustainable company I can recommend is actually like I was talking about underwear before. If you can afford to go a little bit pricier on your underwear, and if you want to feel like badass, and if you're a girl, Waxers, they are made of sustainable material. They also just came out with bras, so they have women's boxers and bras, and also women's like kind of like biker shorts, and then but it's underwear, but they look like biker shorts, and then also what's it called? Boy shorts. But yeah, they had that, and they are sustainable. That's the only sustainable company I really shop from right now, because it's relatively affordable. It's like $18 for a pair of boxers, which isn't that bad. They're pretty comfortable and they're gonna last a long time. So, yeah, so get that if you want to, and look up some cheap sustainable companies. Usually handmade stuff is more sustainable than like the mass produced stuff. I think like on Etsy there seems to be like some sustainable stuff. So yeah, just do your research, find some places you like, or just thrift, because thrifting is fun. And there's online thrifting, there's in-person thrifting, like, thrifting's fun, so do that. And it's a cheaper way to do it, so that's what I do, mostly. So, now I'm going to talk about the responsibility of influencers, and the responsibility of influencers promoting brands. The influencers who promote brands have a huge impact on what their followers buy, especially if their followers are impressionable children. Then they have a huge impact on what they ask their parents for, or if they get money for something, for their birthday or something, that's what they're going to spend their money on. And I've seen way too many influencers promoting like Shein or other fast fashion companies or stuff like that. And I've seen way too many influencers promoting unhealthy things like diet stuff that's not healthy, and they promote it to literal children, so like not okay. But yeah, they just promote like bad businesses, bad brands. And I think influencers have the responsibility to promote brands that are ethical, sustainable, and don't steal designs, aren't unhealthy if it's like food or whatever, aren't unhealthy, and represent what they believe in. I think you should pride yourself in only choosing brands that represent what you believe in. Only taking sponsorships or promotions or whatever from brands that represent what you believe in. Like, say a brand wanted to work with me, but they don't support the LGBT community. They think gays are going to hell. I'd be like, no way. first of all, I'm pan, so, like, why you wanna work with me? But, like, I'd be like, no way, like, that's not in my belief system. I would not, morally, I could not do that, because I don't want to, like, lead my followers to a place where they won't be accepted, or to a place where they will learn beliefs that are very hateful. They're very hateful. Or I don't want to, even with Shein, I don't want to lead my followers to believe that propping up someone's death is okay, or stealing designs is okay, and, like, or, like, unethical practices, and, like, not giving people a living wage when you're making millions. That's not okay. So I don't want to lead my followers to believe that. I think you have the responsibility with what you are saying to your followers to hold it up to very high standards and make it so it only represents your beliefs system and supports you, basically. And if they make the mistake of not doing the research and promoting a company that doesn't line up with their belief system, then they should just apologize, tell their followers, and move on. And make sure to do better, like, checks the next time. And make sure to not mess up the next time. So they, like, if they find out a brand doesn't line up with their belief system, they should just apologize and move on. Like, it's not, everyone makes mistakes, is what I'm trying to say, but you need to recognize those mistakes, apologize for them, and make them better. So now, so far, we have learned that Shein is a terrible company that allegedly steals from artists. Shein, don't sue me. Profits off of people's deaths and fans' confusion, and doesn't treat their employees or environment right. So now I hope I brought a bit of awareness to the practices of this brand, and I hope that you can now make an educated decision on whether or not you would like to shop there. And yeah, you can make that educated decision yourself. I personally would never shop there again. I'm ashamed to have shopped there a long time ago. I spent my money on them. I spent my hard-earned money, and I'm ashamed of that. But it's nothing we can do now. I made a mistake. I didn't do my research on if it was an ethical company or not. But now I know, and now I will never shop there again, and I will advocate against them and all other fast fashion brands. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was kind of different, and I liked it. It was fun. It was fun doing the research and everything. And I got really passionate about it, and I'm very passionate about, like, journalism and stuff, and fast fashion, and activism, and I want to show that more on my channel. I want to show this more. I want to make more videos, maybe make more videos about, like, everything wrong with, like, this fast fashion brand, and, like, stuff like that. I know other people do that already, but I might want to do that too, or maybe, I don't know. I'll try and make something more unique, I don't know, but, leave comments down below what you want to see next. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go like and subscribe if you did, and, comment down below any video ideas you have, and, yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope you feel like it taught you something. And yeah, bye guys.